Hey guys, it's Brian and welcome back to our head garage. And on this Tuesday Titan video, we're replacing both the inner and outer tie rods on our 2008 Nissan Titan 4x4. It's an easy job. You don't have to go to a shop and have them do it for you and charge you a bunch of money. Buy the parts yourself, and I'm going to show you how in a simple two-car garage, using basic, simple hand tools, how you can get this job done yourself and save yourself a ton of cash you can use for something else. So with that, I'm going to shut up and get to wrenching on this week's episode of Titan Tuesday. Alright kids, so here's what we're looking at. This is our outer tie rod, and there's another one of those cotter pins that that pin we'll have to take out and pull this nut off to be able to pull this away from the knuckle itself. Then it runs all the way back to here, and there's a nut here that stops it from going any further on our inner tie rod. And of course, we have a rubber boot that we're going to have to take off to be able to get off that inner tie rod end. So you ask yourself, well, Brian, how do I know if I need to change these, right? Well, if your steering wheel is sloppy, that's a big indicator. And if you can get in here and you can move it, let me zero in on that, you should not be able to move the tie rod like this. That's just shouldn't be able to do that. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get this taken care of. We'll take this piece off first, then we'll take this piece off, and then we'll put it back in reverse order. And don't worry, you're going to get new cotter pins in your kit. So peel this off. And just wiggle them out. There we go. Okay, one cotter pin's out. You can trash this. Next on top, you have a big bolt that needs to come off. Bottom tie rod end is a 22 millimeter. We'll get her on there. And again, we'll take our breaker bar. And we will get this off. All right, there it is. Go ahead and pull this nut off. Remember, you'll get a new nut with your new tie rod in. All right, that's off. But let's just go ahead and put it off to the side here. Now we need to get the actual arm down and off the spindle here. So take yourself a hammer, and you're just going to tap that a few times. Give a couple love taps right there, and this will drop it down. And if it doesn't drop down, put your nut back on. Screw it down to where it is just flush with the top of that bolt. Just like that. And then whack it right there. And there we go. It has now dropped down. You can then take the nut off. And break it all the way through. There it is. And she is off. Next, we need to pull this tie rod off of here, off the inner tie rod. So let's get ourselves a 19 millimeter wrench for here. Oh, it's bigger than a 19. Oh, it's bigger than a 21. It's bigger than a 22. It must be a 24. Now, to get this nut off, we can get this outer tie rod on. I'm going to stick this back up in here temporarily. Go ahead and put the nut back on it. Okay, go ahead and sit her down just for a minute. Take your 24 millimeter wrench, put it up on that nut right there. take it, get your sledge, and you're just going to tap it down. There we go. Now it's loosened up. Now we should be able to pull this one off now. So we'll take this off, bring it back down. Now that you have it loosened up, you should be able by hand to be able to turn this off. Count the number of times this here rotates out. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 times to pull off this outer tie rod end. And as you can see, I can move this around with no problems, and that's not the way it should be. All right, then. Next, we got to get this one off here. There's a little snap ring right in there. Let me see if I can get you in there, and we'll take off this boot. So that is just a spring clip in there. Pair of pliers. And be sure to get that out. Squeeze them together. Squeeze them, and then you can simply just pull this off. And hopefully that'll come off. If not, we will replace it. And it doesn't look like it's going to come off very nice. All right, take this one off here, and then we can take off this as well. So now there's another one of these clips way back in there. I'm not even sure if I can even show you guys on camera. Yeah, I'm having a hard time just seeing it myself. But yeah, it's right there, and it's gonna have to be snipped off. So you guys may not be able to see this, but I'll show you what happens when I get it out. All right, guys, let me kind of show you what I did now. There's a clip in there. I just took the screwdriver, and you're going to see it somewhere in here. Put the screwdriver on there, and I took a hammer, and I just poofed it off. So now that back one is off. So let's pull the boot off. Then I can show you that clamp and what it looks like. I can break that seal. There it is. All right, now. There it goes. Now this boot should just pop right off. And actually the boot is still in pretty good shape. Since that's a factory Nissan part, I think we'll just reuse it, and we'll hold the ones that came in our kit for something else. So let me reach in there and show you that clip now. This is all it was this clip here. And all I did was, you can see how it's bent up. I simply just took the edge of my screwdriver, stuck it right there, and tap, 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 and off it came. This is trash. Now, this is our inner tie rod. And again, it should not be this flexible. You have to have a special tool to take this off. But don't fret. You can rent one for free down at your local auto parts store. So let me go grab that, and I'll show you how to take off your inner tie rod. So this is an inner tie rod puller. And as you can see, it comes with a big green bar that you can put a 1/2-inch ratchet on and turn it. And on this end, you're going to put, which either one of these here happen to fit on that inner tie rod. So you take these, and we'll find out which one matches up perfectly. sinks down just right on that inner tie rod, and then we'll get the tool and we'll take it off. Let's find out. So this is not perfectly round. You're going to find that there is a flat spot right here. So you're just going to take these and keep, oh, see, that's too loose, kind of like Mother Goose. Try a little bit smaller one. That's too tight, too tight. Try in the middle here. No. Almost, that's almost there. And of course, none of these are numbered. Or are they numbered? I guess they are, but they're in inches, not millimeters. So that one there, there's a little bit of wiggle room in there. Let's hold on to that one for a second, try one more. That is way too loose there. Just double sure this. That's too loose as well. So it appears the winner is going to be this one here. So we'll get that on. Awesome. All right, now let's grab that big green thing. So you can see there's little tabs here that go in. Those tabs should correlate with the tabs that are on this right here. So essentially, you're going to line those up like that so you can turn it. Feed this up in it. Remember, you're going to take this little knob here and slide it to lock it all into place. So bring it up into place. Slide that then in. There it is. Now, kind of line this back up here. All right, now I'm going to take this off. All right, it's locked in. Take my cheater bar here. I can get a little leverage on it. All right, let's see if I can turn this now. I got it. Back up into here. Move that little tab. I can now pull this big green thing off, put it back in its case. Pull that little adapter. Need it for the other side, so don't go too far with that. Then this should just spin out. Okay, and we're just going to twist this off. Keep it coming. There it is. The shoe's off. Go ahead, open up our clip here. Pull out our little adapter. Put it off to the side. And one inner tie rod is out. And you can see, again, you should not be able to move it that easily. That's not a good thing. Okay, so this is looking into your steering rack where we just took off that other inner tie rod. So we're going to go ahead and get the new inner tie rod, and we're going to stick it in here. It's time to install our new one. And just so you can kind of see, remember how easy it was to move the other one? This one's kind of hard. Now, the threads on this are really thin. They're really a tight thin. So when you put this in, no hand tool, no impact tools, just all hand tools. Go ahead and get this in. Make sure it is threaded correctly, and just spin it by hand until it bottoms out. Go ahead and take this off. So same thing, we're going to take our tool again, our green tool, and get this on here, and we're going to snug it down. I could not find a torque setting for this. So I think what we're going to do is put the tool on and just snug it down tight. We know how much it took to take off. I'm going to kind of duplicate that much pressure down on it. Tool going on. Lining up those tabs. And then try to move that clasp to lock it in and kind of find our sweet spot right there. And let's tighten this back up now. So I'm going to take my cheater bar and just see about tighten it up just a little bit. I think that'll work for now. Let's see, where's that slide? Fumble. All right, we'll put this away for the other side. All right, so remember our original boot covers. Go ahead and slide those on. Good to go. Now remember, we destroyed these two, taking them off. Not a big deal. We're just gonna get some zip ties and zip tie those on, and we'll keep moving forward. These tie rods already come with some grease, but I think we're gonna add a little bit more to that. Let me grab the grease and we'll put some on there before we put our boot on. Just gonna use a little grease. Just make sure I get it in there. Good. Plenty. It's definitely not gonna hurt anything to get a little more grease in there. Cool. Let's clean our hands and get some next step. Okay, we got our boot already pre-fastened there. We'll go ahead and slide this on. Get it all the way back on there. Kind of push it. Yep, there it is. And while yes, I know you will not be able to see any of this, then I'm going to take our other zip tie here, put it on. Again, just zip it down. Good. There it is. Now we'll just trim those off. Sweet. And we can move on to putting on our outer tie rod. Okay, now that our boot is on, we can take our nut here and thread it on. And just take it all the way to the back there. Now you're going to take it to an alignment shop anyway. So remember, when we took this one off, we counted 13 turns. So we're going to do the same thing here. Get it on there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, here's the thing. Part of the problem is this inner tie rod is bigger than what we're used to. So as you can see, it's not quite. So we're going to have to go a few more. So 13, 14, 15, 16. Well, guys, sorry about that last part of the video. Last thing we did is we put that tie rod up into that spindle. We put the Kelson on there at 37 foot-pounds, put the cotter pin in, and bam, done. You have to rent a few tools, or actually one tool, down at your local auto parts store, but you get that money back. It's a free rental. It's just a deposit. Other than that, as you can see, basic hand tools, 2-car garage. We were able to do the inner and outer tie rods on our 2008 Nissan Titan 4x4. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're a Titan or Armada owner, or one of those Infinity QX56s or something, hit that subscribe button. We are restoring and putting back together this 2008 Nissan Titan, and I'd love to have you join us as we do all that we can to keep our trucks running for a long, long time. So until next time, have a good one, and I'll see you next time on Titan Tuesday.